And we're back again.
Yes, another Water Cooler Wednesday. Hey
So it
guys.
is.
Hey everyone. How
What's
you
up,
doing?
everybody?
Right.
Welcome back. Welcome back. We're here again.
We are here. We are so excited to be here with you guys. I hope you didn't miss us last week. It was a holiday week, and so we wanted to take a little break.
Give
And
me a little
so
time off.
yes. So we're here. We're back for you.
Yep. And what are we going to talk about today, Dion?
Today we're going to talk about the smart moves or bad decisions, right? Buying
Okay.
during the holidays, is it the time to actually purchase during the holidays or not? Right. So,
Awesome. I think that's a good one to bring up today because this is around the time of year where people
right.
start asking that question, right?
And a lot of people are concerned. I buy during the holidays? I think I should wait. What do you think? Should I sell? What do you think? Right. So it's a
That's
common
true.
question during the holiday season.
It definitely is. So, it's a good question to ask because that's everything we always talk about has to do with strategy, right?
Yeah.
So, is this a smart financial strategy to buy right now, or should you wait until the new year? So, we are going to talk about it from both sides because the way y'all know how we do. We come and we give you all the information, not just the sugar coated.
Yeah. Yeah.
To steer you in one direction or another, but we give you the information. So
Yeah.
that's what we're going to do today. We're going to give you information, talk about it from both sides, so the lending and real estate side, and we're going to do pros and cons so we can look at, how to make the best decision.
Yeah. It's for us, we want to make sure that our clients are always educated. And so it's important for us to share this information with you. So let's go, Lisa. Let's
Let's
go.
go. On me, it's on me. Okay, so here's the thing. Every year around the holidays, somebody wants to put the pause button on home buying. And they think, oh, it's too cold. I don't want to have the cold. The inventory is low. Maybe I should wait until spring. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. What if waiting is actually costing you money?
Yes.
Think about that one. So there's a lot of different things that can happen. Like, for example, interest rates can change. And that can go either way, up or down, right? Hopefully at this time, we're actually in a market where interest rates are going to be going down instead of going up because we've been, it's cyclic, it's a big cycle. So, and it has already been going up and now it's starting to come down. So we're hoping that it continues to go in that direction, continues to go down. So that's one thing. So rates can definitely shift. And like I always say, nobody, not one body, not even a half a body, can time the market. You can't, say what's going
Right.
to
Nobody
happen.
knows. And so a lot of people always, oh, I'm going to wait. We've had so many people say that they're going to wait. So they've
Yep.
waited probably 2 years and the interest rate really has not changed. So just imagine where you could have been 2 years ago.
Right.
Right.
Because think about it. House prices have changed though, right?
Yes, they have.
And
Yes.
what direction have they gone?
Up, up.
Exactly. So you could have bought the same house,
Mhm.
probably for maybe $50,000 less if,
Yes.
if you had just done it 2 years ago when you first thought about it, as opposed to
Right.
wait now. Not only are you paying more for the house, but then on top of that, you also paying more in the interest rate too, because interest rates
Mhm.
have steadily gone up.
Right. And with the taxes change, if you're in Illinois, there's
Hmm.
been a lot of tax changes which has caused, so not only has the price of the home going up,
So
but
true.
also the taxes have gone up. So
Yep.
whereas maybe 2 years ago you might have been able to afford, or your budget would have allowed you to have a $300,000 home, and
Yeah.
now in that same house you probably can only afford 220,000.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. That makes perfect sense. So that's part of, because that was the next thing I was going to segue into. So that was a perfect thing to say. That's part of the market dynamic, because market dynamics can shift too. Interest rates can shift, and the dynamics in the market can shift as well. And so that's a perfect example of how something like that can happen.
Yeah,
And again, it's one of those things where you don't really have any control over it. You don't know what direction it's going to go or when. You just have to do your best to make the best decision for where you are right now. So if it's affordable right now is the time to get it.
is the
Okay.
time, right? When is the best time for me but to buy? Right now,
Today.
today, right?
Not
Today,
yesterday.
not tomorrow, today, right?
Yes.
Because you don't know
Probably.
what tomorrow's gonna bring. So
That's so
when's the
true.
best time? Right now.
Probably going to be today. Because if you think about it, you can change your interest rate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had bought that same house, 3 years ago at 250,000, the one that's 300 now, if you had bought it at $250,000 3 years ago, and if your interest rate was higher, let's just say it was higher, when interest rates go down, you can change the rate.
Right.
But that, $50,000 gap in price,
It's
you
there.
can't change that.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that is
mean, just imagine, during this time, people are always asking about, is this the right time to buy?
yeah,
But there's less people during this time also. So
absolutely,
what
absolutely.
that means is there's a lot of less competition out
Hmm.
here for you. So when you might be looking at it right now like, why are those houses so on the market so long? Well, they're on the market longer because there's not as many buyers, but as a buyer that's a good thing for you, because now you can look at houses and not, you don't really have to have feel the fear of competition and have to buy it right away, but
Yeah.
you're able to look at different properties and buy the one that's right for you.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense.
Mm,
Because really, sometimes the best deals happen when everybody else is distracted.
exactly.
Other people are focusing on everything else, and then you get to come in and you swoop in, and you get to steal the deal. So that's a very good deal. I think that's a great thing to bring up. So
Yeah.
another thing, let's just talk a little bit of strategy. So from the lending side, it's a few different things that I see. We could talk about those, and then Dion can come in and talk about the parts that she wants to talk about for the real estate strategy. So you have, like she mentioned, less competition, and so because there's less competition, that also means that there's more leverage. So by you going out now, you're not in a 20 offer battle like we saw a couple of years ago. You have um lines around the corner for everybody waiting to see the same house. So fewer buyers, obviously that means now that's more leverage for you. Leverage really translates into negotiation. The end.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, because I mean, during the COVID time and the interest rates was so low, you had so many people out there. Everyone was negotiating for the same house, and what that
Mhm.
meant was the seller was winning
That
because
seller was willing to all those negotiations, right?
right. The seller was winning because you have so many people bidding for the same house, so they had to bid over the asking price. They had to, take the house without a home inspection
Yeah,
and just hope and pray that everything is okay, or take So there's a lot of different things that we may do during a seller's market that we don't really have to do right now. So, is it a seller's market right now? No. Is it a buyer's market right now? No. It's a normal market is what I say, because
mhm,
that means that if it's a nice house and it's drawing a lot of people, that seller has an option. He's
Yeah.
negotiating with multiple people, multiple offers.
Yeah.
If it's not, and it's maybe a normal house, a lot of people aren't just looking for just an average house right now. So then that's in a buyer's market, because the buyer can negotiate, get something, fix it up for yourself, make it look nice how you want it, pay less.
Hmm. That's great. Yeah, because I think a lot of people don't really think about doing the fixer-uppers, but that's still something to consider in this market, especially with the interest rates being higher. Maybe you go in at a lower purchase price and then take some time to build up on that by making some improvements on the house. And then you'll see that reflect in the value after you make the changes on the home. So that's a great idea. Another thing is that you actually can still get year-end tax benefits. So if you close on the house before December 31st, you might get additional tax deductions because I believe you can write off the mortgage interest, the points, and then also property taxes, for when you file in 2026. So 2026 will really be for your 2025 property, your 2025 tax situation. And if you bought a house in 2025, then obviously the home and the costs that went along with it are going to fall into your tax situation too. Some clients, that means that they might be able to get a couple $1,000s back in taxes, as from the IRS, as opposed to owing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And because definitely, if you there is definitely a tax benefit by buying property at during certain times. And so when that
Hmm.
credit actually is that you're able to take advantage of that credit.
Yeah.
So that's something you should definitely look into, as far as, okay, if I'm thinking about buying before the end of the year. A lot of people want to sell their house before the end of the year, right?
True.
And so so that they're also getting rid of that additional liability, tax advantages as well, by selling at the end of the year. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? um Again, this is a good time. Hey, I can close within, what Lisa got behind her, 6 days, right? And that's before the end of the year. So I can close before the end of the year, and you're able to take advantage of, as the seller, being able to sell your home before the end of the year. So
Yep. And I'm glad you brought that up because actually that was going to be my next point in regards to how quickly you might be able to close, because that's true. Around this time of year, there's actually less competition because not everybody is as savvy as you are and staying in the market to find what they want and go ahead and get a good deal on it. So what that means is that we don't fire people, at in holiday season. So we still got people working, still got people churning out loans and stuff, but now they have a greater capacity to be able to look at your loan, however many times they need to look at it. Hopefully it's not a lot. I don't usually, twice. To me, twice is more than enough. But now they can look at your loan and go ahead and get it approved quickly. So this could be you. Like, how do I point to it?
yeah,
6 days. That could be you. 6 days. Clear to close in 6 days. This actually is I don't do these myself. The lender, one of the lenders that I work with, they actually do that for you because they're big on metrics. And so this is from an actual purchase I did earlier this year. The purchase was cleared to close in 6 days, in six
yeah,
business days.
yeah,
So, but that could be you in December. And if that's the case, you know what you could be doing right before Christmas? Moving into your new house.
moving in, right? Enjoying your new home during the Christmas and New Year's, celebrating New Year's with the in your home with the New Year's
Yes,
party, right?
there you
Bring your
go.
friends over. It's your housewarming. So
And keep something else in mind too, that sellers around this time, Dion, would you say they're more motivated or less motivated to sell?
sellers are more motivated to sell, and they're willing to give more incentives as well. So
Mm,
they're, whereas a lot of times, working with me and we're placing the offer, I may ask for a credit towards closing costs. And
May.
so sometimes some sellers don't want to do it.
She say May, but she gonna ask.
Right. Yes,
She's going to ask. Just let her.
right. But the thing is, some may not agree. But during this time, they'll be more likely to agree, go ahead
Yeah.
and agree because they're wanting to get rid of their property before the end of the year. So
Mhm.
they're motivated during this holiday time in order to get rid of their home.
Yep. Absolutely. Um,
So yeah.
that's a great point to bring up. So they're more open to concessions. And I know that you've had deals personally that you've negotiated during the holidays to get some really good seller credits and things like that to be able to help out the buyer.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different deals that we've done over the years, and some that we've done last week. Where, whereas trying to make sure that it benefits our client and actually getting them into the house. Sometimes everything doesn't go smoothly as we'd like it to go,
That's
but
true.
we definitely
The
make
one we
sure.
closed on today, the one we closed on Wednesday. Let me think. Was it Wednesday? No, we closed on it on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So the one we closed on Tuesday, that was one wasn't as smooth as I would have liked.
Right, right. So sometimes we have to pivot, but
Yeah.
with that, because we're a team and we're able to work through different issues or scenarios that happen during the process of the home buying, even especially during trying to get something done quickly and efficiently,
Yeah.
at in a good amount of time, like towards the end of the year. There's things that we have to make sure that we don't miss, and that things that we have to do in order to resolve maybe something that had occurred, like, hey, we're in Illinois, and again, the taxes,
Taxes.
these wonderful things called taxes. A lot
Oh
of
my
people,
goodness.
right? A lot of people, even in the suburbs, they received an increase in tax just within the last couple of weeks, and then the city has also received an increase in tax. And so those within those areas, those causes, a cause and effect, right? That happens during the time of purchasing that we have to kind of make sure that we work out. But
Mhm.
we've definitely had lots of clients, and we're excited. We're always excited. We're excited about this time of year. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I do think we should also probably address some of the downsides too, because it's not always glitter and gold and everything. Like we mentioned, there are
hmm
going to be pros and cons. So we did already mention some of the pros. There's definitely some good reasons to continue to look at buying during the holiday season, but there'll be some which you probably already figured out a couple of them that would maybe make you reconsider and want to wait before you continue with your home buying search. So limited inventory, that would be one. Obviously, that's the opposite of what we already said, which is that you don't have as many homes to choose from. And sometimes that can be a disadvantage because, especially if you're picky.
yeah,
But the trade off is quality over quantity. You just
yeah.
need the right home, not
The
every
right.
home. So,
I think
yeah,
during the summer we actually dealt a lot with low inventory.
I would
That
agree this year. Yep.
this year.
25.
So
Hmm.
and it was very different. I think feel like this year's been different than previous years.
Yep.
So in this year 2025, what we've seen is that summer was low inventory, and actually right now we're having more inventory. I'm seeing a lot more people bringing their property on the market right now,
Uh huh.
but with the less buyers. But you know typically during this time, the downfall is that there may not be as many houses, and maybe still the nicer ones, or one that you might fit your criteria, might not still
Yeah.
be out here just yet. But as Lisa said, and we've kind of said before, is sometimes you might need to pick something that you can make into what you want it to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. Yeah. And also just keep in mind, like I mentioned before as well, quality over quantity. You don't need to look at 50 houses to find the right house.
Exactly. There's a
Sometimes people think, oh, well, because haven't you said that before too? That some people have this notion in their mind, oh, well, I can't buy the first house that I walk into,
Right.
but you can if it's the right house.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the part, like, that's the demon that people fight within themselves, because they will like walk into a house and really like it and just leave it, because
Mm,
they the notion of not being, not, you can't buy the first house you see. Why not? If this is the house, and
right.
you might have looked a lot on Zillow and decided that this is the one that I really want to see, and I think this is the one. There's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with that being the one, right? Because
Right.
most of the time you've been to friends' houses and seen how their house is, and you
Hmm.
know what you like and how you like your kitchen, how you like your bedrooms. And if it
Hmm.
fits all the things that you like, there's really no reason why you should not go ahead with the first house
Right.
that you see.
Yes, I would definitely agree. Yep.
Mhm.
So a couple of other things, and I want to turn back over to you. So let's think about another con. So holiday schedules kind of slow everything down, right?
Yeah.
So people, when people are traveling, sometimes it turns out, of course, the loan officers, we still working.
And the realtor. Realtor
Realtors,
don't get a vacation.
right, I was just gonna say, realtors, they still working.
Do you know that the time that I get the most alerts for people interested in seeing houses?
What? When is it?
Sorry.
You
The
getting
most,
one right now?
exactly. right, right, sorry. Right, get one right now. Most time is Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Really?
My phone is blowing up on
You know
those
what? I can
different
see that though because the time of year. First of all, they got time off that they don't know what to do with.
Exactly. They're
Things have
sitting with
probably slowed
family,
down.
and the family is talking, and they decide to get on their phone, and they decide to look at houses.
Let me go look for a house
Let
real
me look
quick.
at a house while everybody is talking. Hey girl, how you doing?
Right. Yep. 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 I
Right?
can see that.
Right. Uh so definitely, but we were talking about, the holiday, well, you talking about the holiday schedule and the
Right.
slowdown.
Right. I was talking about the holiday schedules kind of slowing things down because, like, you'll have not us, like people like you and me, the salespeople, like the
Right.
loan originator, the realtor. I think we still continue to work. As a matter of fact, I was having a conversation. I'm trying to think who I was talking to, and they were like, I think it was Lisa, but she was saying that she has to work the day after Thanksgiving on every job that she has had to work. That says, well, yeah, most people do get that day off. I said, but I got to work it too.
Right. Right. We
I
definitely,
will be working a full day. So,
right.
yeah,
We'll be working the day after Thanksgiving, and then
yes.
Saturday and Sunday.
Well,
Right.
I don't do Sunday.
You don't do Sunday, but
Dion
I
do
do
Sunday.
Sunday.
Right.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I'll do Sunday because that's the only time sometimes people are able to see a house. I don't do a full day on Sunday, but I will take
Hmm.
people out. But
But
uh
the attorneys, they take time off. Sometimes underwriters take time off. The assistants, sometimes they take time off. So,
mhm.
things like that can have a little bit of an impact on how things move, as
Yeah.
far as your transaction goes.
Right, especially during this holiday times with title company, and they're kind of a 9 to 5 job, and
Hmm.
trying to get them to trying to Lisa getting her closing paper documents and things in order. So we do come across a couple of hurdles there, as well as during the time it's a family time too, and so where although you're sitting with your family and you're marking interested in the home, the other people have their family too, and so they're not really interested in people coming into their homes during that time as
Now
well.
that's a good point too. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. So
From the
with the,
seller side.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
from the seller side. So, whereas you might have a few days where they're blocked out. People may,
Right.
be
They may
relaxing
not take their home off the market, but they may say, okay, well, we're not going to show it during this
during
week
this
or
time.
during for these days or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, no
Yeah.
showings.
So
Yeah.
especially on, the Friday after Thanksgiving, that which is
Uh,
typically a good rest day for people.
right,
They
but
don't want
that's
to get up.
shopping day.
Right, right. Shopping, right. That's the Black Friday shopping
Yeah.
day, things like that. So you can find that during those times that you might not be able to schedule homes for viewing as quickly as you'd like to.
Right. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So what about showing homes in the winter?
Yes, the weather, the wonderful weather. Well, we haven't had snow yet, so it's great.
Not
Right.
really. Yeah, we had that little bit. We got the first snow a couple weeks ago, but that wasn't really snow
That
snow.
was
That was yeah.
snow. Right.
That was
Snow,
just
snow.
Mother Nature letting us know, look, I'm still here.
Yeah, exactly. So during the winter, when you're going out looking at homes, a lot of times, I suggest is always make sure that you wear good socks, because a lot of times people may want you to take your shoes off. They may provide you a slip cover over your shoes,
Yeah.
but so you have to be able to maneuver how to stand up and put the cover over your shoe, which everyone does not have that skill.
Okay.
That's my little joke. But um but so there's, so you definitely have to kind of be prepared for the weather.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're at the door, it might be cold, trying the wind's blowing. So you have to dress properly during the winter in order to, because you're trying to get in the house. And example of the house that we saw just this week, their heat wasn't really on, so it was colder inside the house than outside the house.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So but there's a lot of different things in the winter that you have to deal with. The snow for one,
Yeah.
the weather, even during even with rain and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and just being properly dressed, I think that helps out with as you're going out and viewing different properties and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Yeah. So.
What about the difference in time? Like that, I would think that would kind of
Oh,
impact too.
yeah. The time too, right? With the time change,
Yeah.
that is really a big difference as well, because during the summertime we can really go view houses up until 8 p.m.
Yeah, like 8 o'clock at night.
Right, during the summertime, but during the wintertime, at daylight savings time, right, we
Mm-hmm.
cannot. You can, but you have to approach it differently,
Yeah.
because what happens is you may not be able to really see the outside of the house.
Okay.
So a lot of times I may suggest, hey, we're going to see a property at 5 p.m. I suggest you drive past the house during the daytime so you can really get to see how the outside of the house looks, and then we'll come back in the evening and we'll see the inside of the
Got you. That's a good
house.
suggestion. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
yeah, so there's a lot of different scenarios. It's like lock something in. So discuss buyers may feel rushed, right?
Okay.
So you it'll be nice for you to buy before the end of the year, but um you don't have to feel the way of that you're feeling rushed in order to purchase.
Yeah.
It's nothing that's rushing you through the transaction. And to me, I actually feel like when everyone is rushed, it doesn't make the best experience because especially if it's a person that's not that doesn't move quickly,
Okay.
right? So you have your 6 day closing because probably the buyer on that side was organized and responsive, right?
Yeah.
They're always on top of getting you what you needed, and that's what makes a deal close fast. So
Mm.
when you're rushed and you don't have your all your items in place, or trying to find something because you feel rushed, and so now you're feeling the sense of, oh, I gotta just pick a house, you know. So
Yeah.
I would say the bad part is don't buy when you feel like you feel rushed.
That's true because you don't. That's the kind of decision that you don't want to make it based upon tiredness or emotionalism. You want
Yeah,
to make it based upon some level of emotion because people do are emotionally attached to their homes, I think. But then you also have to have some level of logic and practicality too. So you have
hmm,
to be able to blend all those things in order to really make the bbest decision. But never just say, "Oh, I have to buy something,"
yeah,
and then because of a deadline that you just pick something. A house is not something you just pick; it's
yeah.
something that you select. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely. Because this is it's a lifelong investment.
Hmm.
A lot of times you don't have
For
to
at least
stay
7 years.
right. You don't have to stay there. So I was gonna say you don't have to stay in it 30 years, but you do have to stay in it in a period of time until one you really you equity is at a good place, so that when you're selling your property
Hmm.
you're able to get something out of it or at least break even, because the worst thing you want to do is sell and you still you can't still owe, so that's you don't want to be in a short sale situation. I
Yeah.
would like that.
That's true. That's true. So here's my take. Holiday home buying is smart when you have your financing in order, when you work with a good team, a good, strong team, when you're not rushing. That's when holiday home buying is really smart, when you have those things in place. But on the other hand, it's not a good move, or you could be considered a bad move if you're not ready mentally or financially. So you do want to think about, like, do I have my pre-approval together? Do I know my budget? Do I have my money set aside for closing and reserves or whatever else that my loan officer, Lisa, the house money mom, is telling me that I'm going to need? You want to think about all those different things.
Yes, yes. So there's a lot of signs to us that tells us that a client is ready to buy during the holidays, right? So, and one is already pre-approved,
There you
right?
go.
Just like Lisa said, that even if they come to us pre-approved, we know that they've been educating themselves on the process and they
Right.
went ahead and started the process out,
Yep.
or the one or willing to go ahead and be pre-approved, because some people will come to us and say, well, I
I'm not
just
giving you my last name.
right.
Go ahead.
We come up with these things is real life. We are not just making these things up when we say them, right? So
Yes.
um but but they're willing to go ahead and run their credit
Yeah.
and get
Get
pre-approved,
pre-qualified.
because right, because a lot of times we may even get people that says, can I get pre-approved without you running my credit? Right. No,
Unless I get my answer.
that's
Do
not the
not
type
pass
of
go.
approval we
Do
do.
not collect $200. That's a big fat no.
Right, right. And so for us, we're like, okay, that person's not ready. So
Right.
right, you're not ready. Oh, okay. And you might say, I'm not ready, Ned. I really don't want my credit ran. Okay, you understand where you're at, and we do too, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't take you out to see houses without being pre-approved.
There you go. That's
Right.
right. And
Right.
that's common practice in the real estate industry. So
Mm-hmm.
while we know that buying in the holiday seasons is not for everybody, but for the buyer who's prepared, it can be a power move because you can really end up getting a great deal and have a seller that is just willing to bend over backwards to help you to get into the house. You avoid the spring madness. We have everybody out looking at the same time. You potentially get a better price, and then you can start the new year in your new home.
Yes, yes, yes. So we what we want to do is we want to encourage you if you're ready to buy, we still have at least 35 days before the year is over.
We
And
do.
so give us a call, right? Let us know that you want to get pre-approved. And by doing that, a way you could do that is you could call Lisa at Nexa Lending, and let her know that you're ready to get pre-approved. You can also contact me, Dione Branch, at Allure Dream Homes, and I can share with you everything you need to know. You may have questions as whether the steps of the process and how it goes, and do you need some credit repair assistance? Give me a call. We have team members on our team that will help you with your credit repair.
And
So,
you may need to list a house because not everybody that's buying is coming from renting. You may be
correct.
coming from already being a homeowner. You may need to list your home. So
Yeah. And I can
he does
definitely help with
listings.
that as well. So, yes, I can list your home and then we could go out and buy a new home. Love those. Right? It's fun.
Absolutely.
Right?
So thank you for coming out and spending your Wednesday with us. We'll come back again next week. We will be here. Don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends so they can come and be with us on Wednesdays too.
Yes, yes. We love to have you all. Thank you for joining us.